everyone, and welcome back to another one of the Star Citizen discussion videos. And I think this is going to be the last one I do of the underappreciated ships for a while, because we're going to have a lot of CitizenCon stuff and I'm probably going to start talking about that. But I wanted to hit things off with this time talking about another ship that I feel, remember this is all completely my opinions, that I feel is underappreciated by the Star Citizen community, and that is the Drake Corsair, a ship that I am actually quite excited to see in the future, hopefully not too far away. The Drake Corsair, yes, it is a ship that a lot of people just completely throw away for a couple of reasons. They just completely write off and like, oh, it's crap. One is because the Drake being fragile, Drake ships being fragile compared to other ships. And two, the second main one I see people throw away all the time is because of these turrets. These turrets being absolutely garbage. And I'll agree with them. Those turrets are absolutely garbage. But I don't think that's what the turrets are going to be like when it's finished. You got to remember, this was made back in ye olde days. It's a rather old design now for the Corsair. Its turrets are not going to be like that. We don't see turrets like that in game anymore. When do we ever see turrets like this in the game? Much more likely, I feel like we're much more likely to get the Hammerhead style turrets here. This ship design was made before the Hammerhead. The Hammerhead was the test bed, so to speak, for a newer turret design. And yeah, turrets have come a long way since the Hammerhead, never mind since this. So yeah, I do not expect the turrets to stay anything like that. It is a steaming pile of garbage, in my opinion, if the turrets are like that. Yeah. So those are the things that people really dislike about it. But I suppose we should take a second to just quickly talk about what the ship is then. So we've got the Drake Corsair. It is called by Drake to be their exploration ship, and I've heard the community say much more often than normal that it is all about exploring other people's cargoes and choosing the selectest choices to take on yourself. But yeah, it is what it says on the tin. It is a Drake exploration ship. And that Drake side of it is just as important as the exploration title in the end. It is armed to the teeth and will be slightly on the fragile side compared to ships its scale and size. We come down here, you can see that it has a large amount of radars, good for scanning and finding things. It also has one hell of a lot of weaponry. This thing is armed to the absolute teeth. And then it has a cargo storage of 72 SCU, and that is pretty much all she wrote. There was... does it have it here? There is an interior... Here we go. There we go. You can see some of the interior here. You got some beds here, pilot areas, turrets. Was it the rear cargo area? There is another turret on the rear just here. The wings are attached there. So yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. So there's, it's brief, it's Connie sized. It's a Connie, it's the Drake's answer to the Connie basically. Except it focuses more on exploration of other people's cargo holds. Now, so yeah, people are instantly like, ugh. So basically it's a fragile Connie. I just don't see it. That's what people see it as, a fragile Connie. But I don't see it as that. The Connie is much more like the big brother to the Freelancer, whereas this is almost definitely the big brother to the Cutlass Black. Now, I don't know about you, but I see more people rooting for the Cutlass Black than I do the Freelancer, and I see more people like loving the Cutlass Black to the Freelancer, and I think it's going to be the exact same sort of power level here. Like, this is an upgrade to the Cutlass Black in every single way possible, apart from the tractor beam. I do not see the tractor beam like on the. I haven't seen it. I don't think it has one. So there's a wee bit of a downside for this thing. It is going to give you so much more longevity if in this, especially if you're a pirate. If you are a pirate, this is a huge upgrade to the Cutlass Black to me. Apart from the tractor beam, that tractor beam would be quite useful. You've got the exploration engines and fuel size to get you places faster and not have to go home anywhere near as much. Which, as if you've watched any of my other stuff, you know when I'm talking about pirating, you are going to have space havens that are very few and far between. So having exploration status on your ships is going to be huge. Or some other way to refuel, rearm, that sort of stuff. It has more cargo than the Cutlass Black. It has more firepower than the Cutlass Black. It has more multi-crew possibilities than the Cutlass Black. It is an upgrade. It has more defense than the Cutlass Black. It has everything more than the Cutlass Black, except from maneuverability. If it was one-on-one, if you were a solo player going one-on-one with a fighter, I'd probably rather have the Cutlass Black, just to get that slight bit of maneuverability so you can actually get your forward-facing guns on target. But that is the only scenario. And as we're talking about here, this thing's going to be looking to explore and pirate. So it's not going to be looking to go one-on-one into a fight with a fighter. It's going to be looking to go, if it's going one-on-one, to be ambushing, say, something like a Hull C or a Hull B. It's going to be an ambush predator, which is where its overwhelming firepower really comes to bear. This thing doesn't want fair fights, so it being slightly more fragile than its counterparts doesn't really matter because it's only going to be getting into unfair fights. It's a lot like the Kraken. The Kraken is not intending to get into fair fights one-on-one with an Idris. It's looking like that type of thing. It's looking to be miles away from the fight. Okay, I'm talking about the Kraken now, but we shouldn't be talking about the Kraken. This is Corsair. It is great at finding things with those much better scanners. I see this thing as being an outstanding for a solo pirate. Cutlass will be amazing as part of a group, but if you're wanting to solo pirate, I think this is, or a really small group, a solo ship pirate, this is definitely the ship you're going to be needing. Just really, the only thing I really see it lacking is that tractor beam, which, I don't know, maybe that could be made. Well, I don't know what that is. I've seen a lot of speculation on what it could be. When you see it coming around, this big, chunky looking thing here. Could be a landing gear, weird landing gear. I don't know what it is, but there's been lots of speculation on what it is. But if that's some sort of like tractor beam, that'd be amazing. Yeah. Oh, so you've got really good scanners, so you can find things really easy, like a juicy target that you're going to be able to ambush. You're going to have lots of fuel and that sort of stuff. You fit this thing out with stealth components. You could sneak, say you're based in Pyro, you could sneak into Stanton. You could sneak over to somewhere where someone's not expecting, like pirates to be, and then you ambush them. You get your cargo, you sneak back out of Stanton. You've got plenty of fuel to get in and out in one trip, all your way back to your safe harbour in Pyro. Job's a good one. You just made yourself some good cheddar cheese. Yeah, this thing is going to be a powerhouse of a ship when it is introduced, and there's Pyro and there's all sorts. This thing in a one-on-one fair fight with a Connie, I could see it going either way. It is the Drake's answer to a Connie, and the Connie is a much-loved ship. So this deserves to be loved as much, in my opinion. I see it being no different to the Freelancer vs Cutlass Black, and I see more people rooting for the Freelancer, even though the Freelance... No, I see more people rooting for the Cutlass Black, even though the Cutlass Black has that same Drake fragility? Fragility? Is that a word? But you know what I'm trying to say. Has that same fragile aspect to it. And the Freelancer has the tanky aspect, so it's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum attached to it. And Connie and this, I see it being the exact same thing. I think once it's released, I think those turrets will be polished out in the update, because remember, this is a really old concept. If they've been working on it, they've probably been tweaking this concept a couple of times that we've not even seen. Those turrets have probably already been changed in their design documents and that kind of stuff. I would love to see an up-to-date concept of this ship. I'd love to see it go into white box and see its white box phase finalised and just get some nicer, more up-to-date, accurate information on it. Because I think it's really, really going to shine once we see that. And so those turrets I expect will fully be fixed. If they're just able to fire forward, this thing coming down, oh, I just see this thing being the bane of like Hull C's. Like a Hull C in what it thinks is safe space, just plodding along in Stanton. This thing, boom, comes out of nowhere, like shoots the arse off of the Hull C before it has a chance to do anything. Sends a couple of guys out with tractor beams, they grab a couple of the crates off and into the back, and boom, it's away. And they're away and halfway back to Stanton Pyro before anyone can do anything. It's going to be one hell of us. It's going to be one hell of a pirating ship, and you're going to be able to, if you're a lawful player, you're going to be able to explore in it as well. But I would probably rather, if I was only lawful, I wouldn't go for this exploration ship. I'd go for something a wee bit more true exploration orientated. I think this is a true pirating ship, and in my opinion, is going to be the premium, top of the line, best ship possible for if you're wanting to solo ship pirate, which I think is going to be the smallest scale pirating that is really an option. If you want a solo person pirate, you're going to have to be in the Cutlass Black, I think, but that's going to be rather hard in my opinion. You're going to come across more problems than it's really worth. This is going to be the butter zone for a small group, I do really strongly feel, in this ship. And a great place to expand from. Like if you're just starting out a new pirating org, this would be a great starter flagship for you. And then you slowly branch out. The first thing I'd get is probably a Cutty Black. With that tractor beam, the two of them can nip in. With the Cutty Black's tractor beam, you can really get some good solid cargo pinched in that ambush scenario earlier really fast. Then after that, you're probably going to maybe want to expand into maybe couple more Cutty Blacks for more storage space, or another one of these for more storage space, a couple of Buccaneers as fighter escorts if you're going full Drake, and then you're going to really want a Kraken if you're going to keep expanding. But yeah, the ship cannot be undervalued. And even say you've got the Kraken now, and so your little pirating org feels like they've outgrown this and they've now got a Kraken. That doesn't mean this ship is no longer like viable. Its role changes from your pirate and flagship of your little org to your pirate scout ship, your pirate. Oh, not everyone can make it on Friday. Oh well, there's only going to be 2 or 3 of us. Well, we'll just take this out instead. Or like, it's going to have so many more different roles, even once you've got a Kraken, for example. It's your scout, nipping ahead, finding the juicy targets. It's your... yeah, it's extra cargo, because remember, at the end of the day as well, even once you've got that Kraken, you're going to need something to put the cargo from the... like, if the Kraken's going to be your base, and then you're sending out raiding parties, then this could be a raiding party to bring stuff back to your Kraken. It can be a scout, it can be extra cargo space, it can just be extra firepower, because we know it's got one hell of a lot of firepower. Yeah, I just see this as being such a great ship for pirates in particular. It is going to be insanely viable. Same with bounty hunters, now that I think about it. That firepower, bounty hunters are going to be very ambush predatory as well. If we know you're going to be able to get like pods, like cargo, like pods that are kind of like the cells in a Cutlass, or not, a Cutty Blue or something like that. We know we're going to be able to get pods, because we've seen them in the Caterpillar on that mission where you have to rescue the criminals. That prison, they're going to prison, that mission that's in-game. I think it's still in-game at the moment. I don't think they've removed it. At least it was in-game at one point. So you're going to be able to take that storage space and fill that full of those capsules if you're a bounty hunter. And then you've got an insanely good bounty hunting ship here. I hadn't even thought about that possibility. Because again, it is an ambush predator. I don't know how I'm going to can't stress that anymore. It being slightly on the fragile side is not a problem. It is going to just pop up out of nowhere and go, hey you, get in the back, or get your cargo in the back. It's going to be a really good ship, and a really good early game flagship goal. It's going to be, I see it to be the first thing many in-game pirates are going to really want to aspire to. Like, you've got your starter ship, then after your starter ship, if I was a pirate, I'd probably go to a Cutty Black. Then you're going to be able to get that relatively fast in-game. And then once you've got your Cutty Black, that's really early days. The first thing you're truly going to aspire to and going to have to spend a long time grinding up to is I see something like this. I think it is going to be one hell of an amazing ship. And I have probably rambled on about it a bit too much. So yes, the Drake Corsair. Overwhelming firepower, ambush predator. It's going to be one hell of a ship. And it's asymmetry as well. Come on, it is just damn beautiful. You've got to admit, this is a beautiful looking ship. It is cool as hell. Rule of cool on those wings is extremely important in my opinion. It looks sexy as shit. Even though shit does not look sexy. Got a wee bit off track there towards the end. Hope you have all enjoyed this. This ship's a sexy beast. I'll see you all next time. Bye. Bye.